comes to the match stats here in this game. Obviously, just the 2 goals in it in the end to make sure that it is a point apiece for either side. Mikel Arteta gutted after the game. Here he is.
We absolutely deserve to win the match from the beginning till the end. We did almost everything that we had to do to win it, but this is the quality of the opposition. With one chance they score a goal, and then the margins of the league as well, which for millimeters, he is sitting with 3 points after I think a very, very strong and dominant performance. A really, really good team.
Jules, I'm going to start with you here. Is this feeling an opportunity missed for Arsenal today?
I think so. I think his 2 points dropped. Definitely, they had enough chances to win the game. They didn't give Fulham anything really. I mean, the goal is a good goal, but after that, I think Fulham had one shot for the whole rest of the game, so 80 minutes. And Arsenal lacked a bit of cutting edge. I thought in that first half it was a bit pedestrian at times. It was a bit better in the second half, but really they still had enough to win that game. Partey should have scored his header on another set piece, and then Martinelli has to stay on side. I'm really sorry. I know he's offside, obviously. This is the right call by the referee and VAR. But at this level, just a lack of concentration, because Martinelli should see the line, he should stay on, the ball comes to him still, it's the same cross, it's the same goal, just nothing changes. There's no advantage for him at all, not gaining anything by being offside by a few centimeters. He should stay on side. And this is the difference at this level. And those 2 games the 2 points drop, today might cost Arsenal a lot come the end of the season.
Just talking about the goals as well for Arsenal right now, Jules, and let me stay with you for a moment. Is it going to start to be a point where you're going to say Arsenal are going to need more goals from open play? Obviously, these set pieces, it's great, they're delivering in all aspects, but is that going to be something that's going to be brought up?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, of course, you don't want all your goals to come from set pieces, and there's 3 in 2 games now, and they only scored 3, and they missed chances in open play, and they scored on set pieces. I think they've scored 9 this season on set pieces out of 27 goals, I think it is, or something like that, or 28 goals. So it's a third of their goals that come from set pieces. Is that a lot? Yes, it is. Is that too much? Maybe. I mean, is it ever too much to score goals wherever they're coming from? I'm not too sure. But maybe you don't want to be too dependent, because there will be a point where some teams defend them better than others. And again, today they could have had a second goal. Partey could have had a goal tonight on set piece, this afternoon, and on Wednesday as well, he was very close to scoring against United too. I don't know. I would always take the goals wherever they come. But yeah, it's quite significant, I think, that in the last 2 games, today and Wednesday night, they scored 3 goals, all of them on set pieces.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to take them, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
Jules
absolutely.
is saying, and it's quite remarkable to see those numbers that we just saw, head and shoulders above the rest of the teams in Europe for set-piece goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have that, particularly when you're not playing particularly well. You know that at any time, a corner or a set piece, you're able to get on the board. But yes, you need to also be more dangerous from the run of play. But what were we just talking about, Tottenham and Chelsea? Fulham didn't deserve to get a point out of that game, but they found a way to defend and get a point. And those are those little things, particularly for a team that doesn't want to look over their shoulder at the end of the season in a relegation fight, or a side like Arsenal that wants to keep pace at the top of the table. It's those little differences. Can you fight at home to get a draw in a match that you probably shouldn't have, or are Arsenal that much better that they were able to get another goal or 2 to where it didn't matter how well Fulham fought? So those are those little moments throughout the season that will make the difference at both ends of the table. And Fulham showing that you can suffer at home and steal a point from one of the big boys.
Okay, let's get back to Arsenal then, if we can. Nedum, you can understand why Mikel Arteta is gutted then after a game and a result like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, but Arteta can also feel strength from the fact that the performance overall was a good performance. I think he's seen a few good performances from his side now in the last few weeks as well. The frustration, obviously, in terms of dropping points when Liverpool didn't play, a chance for them to catch up to them, and even though Liverpool would have a game in hand, still be right there in the conversation, is a big, big disappointment. But again, I think as you look at performances, you can start to predict what the future will look like. I think, Kasey's made a good point there for Fulham. They suffered today and they got a result. The next time they play Arsenal, if it's that same game, they'll probably get battered. They'll probably concede by quite a few. and you do ride your luck to a certain extent. But performance-wise, I think if you're on the sideline as a manager and you're happy overall, yes, the result can be disappointing, but you can know and feel confident you don't have that much to work on. I think we've had the discussion about, them at set pieces and stuff, but I'd rather have that than not have that, because what happens when the creativity does completely wane from a game? But I think Arsenal, they're in a good position. It's obviously disappointing to have dropped points today, especially with City doing what they did yesterday, dropping points to Crystal Palace. But in reality, I think Arteta knows Arsenal are a good side, and he knows that they can turn. I think it was this point at the start of the year, they lost the game to Fulham. I think it was in January, and then they went on a long run of just winning games of football. I personally think they're capable of doing that. Whether or not that leads to a league title, I'm not sure, but they're still a very, very good side, and the performances are far better than they were maybe 5-6 weeks ago.
Well, the winners of the weekend, obviously, and you mentioned them, Nedum, without even kicking a ball, were Liverpool. Man City dropped points, Arsenal dropped points. It feels as though their position has been strengthened. We're taking a look at the table here right now, and obviously Chelsea are in second. So you guys can decide how we are going to apportion percentages here for who's going to win the title this year. I'm going to start with you, Jules. Are you doing it between 4 or 3 here, and what are your numbers?
I've got everybody in. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal and City. For me, they're all in there. And you will have the odd one out that is going to take points to everybody. I think there's still a lot of points that will be dropped by all those teams, including Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool can stay at this pretty incredible level. Okay, take away the draw at Newcastle maybe. But the rest of the season so far, I just don't think they can stay at that level. So Liverpool have to be the favourite now above everybody else because they have more points than everybody else, so it's just normal. But I think that all those 4 teams can win the league. I don't think it's done yet at all. I don't think it will be an absolute cruise for Liverpool all the way until May and then regaining that title, because I think all 4 of them, really, I believe that City can come on to an incredible run and go and win it. I think Chelsea, despite the youth and the lack of experience, can still go and surprise everybody and win it. I think Liverpool are in the driving seat, of course. And I think Arsenal have had enough experience in the last 2 seasons of pushing City all the way, pretty much, to go and again, like Nedum just said, put on a great winning run and go and also win it. So I think it's going to be fascinating whatever happens between now and the end of the season, especially between those 4.
Who are your second favourites, Jules?
So I mean, Liverpool, I guess, my first favourite because they're in the lead. I'll go for Arsenal second. I still think that for me they are the better team out of the 3, just behind Liverpool, and I would not put them just way below Liverpool as well. I think Liverpool, yes, probably slightly favourite, but I think Arsenal come not that far behind.
Okay, Nedum, do you care to give us some percentages here and who's in it?
Do you know, while Jules was talking there, I was trying to gather the percentages in my mind because I want to start with Liverpool being at 60% for me. I think a couple of weeks ago I had them at 50, but I'm still confident that they can do it. And I think weekends like this, they benefit them so much. And I'm with Jules as well. I think Arsenal probably second favourites as it stands, due to the fact that they're actually performing pretty well right now. So I was going to put them in around the, I'll say 25% mark. So that leaves me with 15% left to share between Chelsea and City. And right now, Chelsea are playing the better football, but City have the greater history. So I will put recent history in the Premier League. I could hear people getting quite angry then. So what I'll say is I'll put Man City at 10% and Chelsea at 5%. But another bad week for City and a good week for Chelsea. And before you know it, those percentages can flip around. But 60 Liverpool, 25 Arsenal, 10 Man City, 5 to Chelsea.
That's pretty bold from Nedum there on the percentages.
Yeah. No, and I think Liverpool deserve that from the start of the season, new manager, and kind of the capitulation of a few other sides. I don't think any of us expected this run from Man City. From a negative, and then obviously the positive run from Chelsea to get themselves in this position where nobody expected that as well. So I think because of that, there is that idea that, yes, it's Liverpool's to lose right now, and who is going to change that? Is it going to be Liverpool changing it with slipping up, or is it going to be one of those teams we just talked about going on an incredible run we know that they're capable of doing? And I still think, Liverpool have put themselves clearly in the best position, and you can't afford to slip up. We know that there's a lot of good sides in this league, and nobody has truly, I think, yet separated themselves to a point where you went, okay, they're just clearly so much better than everybody else, as we've seen in the last couple of years with Man City. So I think if that's the case, then it will be, who can then perform in those key matches? Because when they're taking points off each other, who's the one that rises in those matches?
Yeah, can't miss matches, obviously, coming up in the Premier League.